Hey guys, thank you all for once again joining in. In today's session, we are going to learn a lot about Amazon PPC, right? So, did you ever think now, whenever you get to see so many billboards and stuff, right? You get to see so many advertisements outside, right? Let's take an example of Coca-Cola. Now, let's say if you're driving a car and you get to see so many advertisements outside, right? Now, what do they expect? Do they expect you to just jump out of your car, go and get a Coke? Right, that will never happen, right? Now, if you were to buy a soft drink at a later point in time, when you are out with your family or friends and you were to order a soft drink, you will automatically order Coke because you were subconsciously or you were unknowingly fed by a lot of marketing material, right? So there are few studies which say for a customer to buy your product, they should come across your product for at least 7 or 10 times, right? Now what all these bigger brands are doing, they are trying to constantly feed your subconscious mind with their advertisement, right? So the whole idea here is they're trying to occupy some space in your subconscious mind, so tomorrow if you were to buy a soft drink, you'll go and purchase the exact same product. So that's the power of omnipresence, right? Now let's apply the same concept to Amazon PPC, right? Now, especially when it comes to beginners, now generally what people do is they just start with one auto campaign, and then they start one manual campaign and they expect a lot of sales, which will never happen, right? So this is something which everyone as a beginner, so these are few mistakes which everyone does. But over a period of time, when you learn and when you burn some money, right, you will obviously learn, and you will be in a better place to run and manage your PPC campaigns. So let's get into the topic here. Now the whole idea or the agenda, right? In my previous video I have spoken about keywords and stuff, right? I would actually want to have a session on creating your PPC campaigns using your bulk operations. But before getting into that module, I thought I should first give you or provide you an overview of Amazon PPC as a platform, right? So see, basically when it comes to selling on Amazon, your goal is to be omnipresent, right? You should be omnipresent. Now why is that? I just gave you an example. I have already told you what Coke or any other brands are doing outside, right? So you need to replicate the same strategy. Your goal is to make sure you're omnipresent, and for you to be omnipresent, you have three channels, right? If you were to sell on Amazon, you can or you will be omnipresent, or you can make sure your products are omnipresent by using sponsored product campaigns, by using your sponsored display campaigns, and also your sponsored brand campaigns. It's very important that you utilize all three channels in order to run your PPC campaigns. Okay, now when it comes to sponsored product campaigns, let's get into each of them, right? So I'll try to cover as much as possible very concisely. Now the whole idea or objective of this video is I'm preparing you for our next video, which is creating campaigns using bulk operations. But before going there, as I mentioned, you should have a solid foundational knowledge or understanding of various campaigns, various match types, what is the goal of each match type, how many types of campaigns you can create, right? All that stuff. So let's start. Now when I speak about sponsored product campaigns, right? So in today's session we will go through all these campaigns, and I'll also speak about how you should be naming your campaigns, right? So we should name it. Now if somebody is saying that name it using ABCD or with a formula, you should not take it. You should name your campaigns in such a manner that you are able to understand it properly, because you as a business owner, tomorrow when you're optimizing your campaigns, when you're looking back your data points, how have you done in last 7 days, when you look at this data, you should be in a position to compare that data and take conscious decisions. Now for you to do that or to achieve that, you should be naming your campaigns properly, right? So firstly, let's start with sponsored. I'll cover all three modules today. Let's start with sponsored products campaign. Now in sponsored product campaigns, right, so how many different varieties of campaigns you can make? The first one is your auto campaigns, right? So generally auto campaigns are considered as discovery campaigns, right? You're defining the bids and you're telling Amazon, hey, this is my bid, or this is what I'm willing to pay. You go and search, or you go and display my products to various or relevant customers, and let's see what customers are searching for, and how many, let's see, whether customers are buying my products or not. So this is a discovery campaign, right? Now when you speak about auto campaigns, generally people have so many questions: how many auto campaigns can I run? I have only one auto campaign and stuff. But let me give you a general overview. Now let's say if you were to start an auto campaign, right? In auto campaigns you have 4 match types, right? You have one close match, you have loose match, you have complements and substitutes. Now in your close match and loose match, you would be focusing upon search search terms and keywords, whereas for your complements and substitutes, you would be focusing on your ASINs or your competitor product listings, right? Now if I were to run an auto campaign, right, so I have 4 match types and I have 3 placement options. One is your top of search, the other one is your product pages, and the other one is your rest of search, right? So just do a simple sequencing. You have 4 match types and 3 placements. Just look at this combination, 4 into 3, so 12 campaigns. You can definitely run 12 campaigns using your auto, okay, right? So if you were to start your auto campaigns, you can go ahead and create 12 campaigns. In each campaign you will focus on only one match type. Let's say one campaign you will focus only on close match, and you will define it, probably define top of search some percentage. Likewise, you can create another campaign for close match. In that campaign you focus on product pages, and you create another campaign, you focus on rest of the pages. Likewise, you can create 12 campaigns using your auto campaigns. So this is the fundamental, okay? This is just basic. Now over 12, if you want to create, of course you can do. You can play around with your numbers, you can just play around with your percentages, you can play around with your bids, right? You can, you may probably start with suggested bid, or you may start with custom bid, or you may, once again, there is no limit to that. But the fundamental thing is that if you were to start an auto campaign, you can always create 12 campaigns to start, or at least as a start, right? So sometimes you may blend close and loose match together, and blend substitutes and complements together, right? I would definitely not recommend blending close and loose match together, but substitutes and complements, I think that's fine. Okay, so within sponsor products, we covered the first type of campaign, which is your auto campaign, right? And the second type of campaign, which is your manual campaign, right? Now when we speak about manual campaigns, they are more for exploration. So in your auto campaigns, you discovered couple of keywords. So when you run your auto campaigns, you will get to see search terms or keywords where you've got a couple of sales. And here, when you're running your manual campaigns, your goal is to explore. Your goal is to look for a longer tail version of those keywords, right? So whichever keywords are doing well in your auto campaigns, generally you can put them in broad and phrase match campaigns and run them, right? You can just pick those good performing or converting keywords from your auto campaigns, and then you can create a separate broad match campaign, a separate phrase match campaigns, and then run your broad and phrase match campaigns for those keywords, right? So you are getting data set. So for you to run your broad and phrase match campaigns, where are you getting keywords? One, you can get keywords from auto campaigns. Number two, you can get those keywords from software tools like Helium 10. Number three, you can also get those keywords from brand analytics, right? So you need to leverage all these data sets, right? One, you have a couple of keywords from your auto campaigns, you have couple of keywords from Helium 10, you have couple of keywords from brand analytics. So you will pick all those keywords and you're going to run broad and phrase match campaigns. Am I clear? Good. So and then now once you're done, so as you're driving your broad and phrase match campaigns, you will get to view several long tail version of keywords, and you need to look for keywords that are doing well, which are giving you low cost sales, and you need to look for keywords where the conversion ratio is good, or you have a good conversion ratio. And for such keywords, you need to run exact match campaigns with a goal to rank for that keyword. Now, when you're running exact match campaigns, your goal here is to rank for that keyword, right? You will run exact match campaigns only when you see when you have proven data, right? When you see a couple of long tail keywords from broad and phrase match are doing well, they have got very good conversion ratios. For those keywords, you will try to rank for that keyword, right? You're ranking so that you are there on page number 1, right? Now, so this is your second set of campaign. Within sponsored products, we covered auto campaigns, and then we looked into manual campaigns. And the third type of campaign within your sponsored product. See guys, we have not moved on. I mean, we are still in sponsored products. See how many varieties of campaigns we are creating. 12 campaigns from auto, and then couple of campaigns from your manual keyword. And then we also can do product targeting campaigns, right? Product targeting campaigns are nothing but you're going to attack your competitors. You're going to look for competitors who have got lesser ratings than you, right? And who are performing well in terms of sale, or who does not have a much of differentiation. So technically, wherever you have some competitive advantage, right, you need to look for such competitors and you need to go and attack them. You need to run product targeting ads for those ASINs. Okay, and then comes the category targeting. All right, so this is working really well. Now see, what is category targeting, right? So let's say if you are selling a mobile phone, you are going to target mobile phones category. Okay, so this is super cool. I'm able to, so as I run PPC campaigns and all, I see very good conversion ratios here. Now the benefit here is, when it comes to product targeting, you're just picking a couple of competitors within a category and then focusing on them. But when you run your category targeting, Amazon is looking into the entire category, into the entire sub niche, and Amazon is going to promote your product. So this is really well. So definitely do not miss this. Always run your category targeting also. You have two options here. One, you can focus on your category and you can also run your category targeting, or you can also run your campaigns for related category, right? So how should I explain? Let's say let's say if you are selling a mobile, and whoever is buying a product, whoever is buying a mobile phone, they would also require a mobile case. So technically you will focus on mobile category or mobile as a sub niche, and also focus on the mobile cases category or department. So the logic here is, so if somebody is buying a mobile case, or it's like, I hope I'm able to give you an example, a clear example. But it is very important. Let's say if you are selling a product, you need to see what other products goes well along with this product, and you need to target them. Okay, so do not miss this section, category targeting. It is very important, guys. So when it comes to PPC, it is always about test and trial. There is no perfect yes or no answer. So especially, these are few sections where most of the sellers do not utilize. Category targeting, many people may not be doing it. Related category targeting, many people could be ignoring it, and we should exploit it. We should leverage that opportunity, right? So far we covered auto campaigns, we covered our manual campaigns, we also looked into product targeting campaigns, we looked into category targeting campaigns. I hope so far it is very clear. So you see, within sponsored products, now I've been telling that our goal is to be omnipresent, right? Now the very idea of being omnipresent is to feed your customers subconsciously, right? If let's think about yourself. If you want to buy a product, will you just jump onto Amazon and just buy it? No, you may check for a listing or a product today, and you may come back tomorrow, right? And you may come back day after tomorrow, right? So it is very important that you make sure your products are visible to your audience, and you are constantly feeding their subconscious mind, so that if they were to buy a product, they ultimately go and pick your product. That's the whole idea or goal, right? So let's move on to the sponsored display campaigns. So we covered sponsored products, we have sponsored brands, and then we have sponsored display. I'll first cover sponsored display and then come to sponsored brands. Right now, when it comes to sponsored display, right, so within sponsored display you have once again you can do your product targeting campaigns. This is super cool. Your products will be placed very next to the product detail page. This is something I'm sure most of you would be knowing, but do not miss this. So always run your sponsored display ad, always do that ASIN targeting, at least for your top sellers or wherever you have some competitive advantage. You should not miss that. You should go ahead and run sponsored display or product targeting ads, right? And then comes your audiences, which most of the sellers do not use, but we should be making use of it because our goal is to be omnipresent. Now audiences, within audiences you have three choices. So let me try to pull it for you. Right now, when you select audiences, right, for your sponsored display, right, you have three choices. One is Amazon audience, the other one is views remarketing, the third one is purchase remarketing. Let's firstly get into Amazon audience. Now when you choose Amazon audiences, right, see, we need to understand that Amazon as a platform, it is driven by artificial intelligence. Now Amazon has already bucketized or categorized customers basis their search patterns or basis their interests and all, or basis their search history over a period of time, right? Now basis that, Amazon feels that there are, it is highly, the probability of this set of audience buying your product is really high, right? Amazon will, or when you say Amazon audience, Amazon has already categorized customers into various departments. So these customers are highly likely to buy your product. So this is what Amazon AI says, or Amazon's artificial intelligence says. So definitely make use of this. Do not miss this opportunity. Definitely run your audiences, focus on Amazon audiences, and try to run campaigns and see if they are doing well for you. If they are doing well, that's great. I mean, I'm sure you will have very low cost sales, or you will definitely get very low cost sales. And the second one is your views remarketing and your purchases remarketing, which I've already covered in my previous video, but today I'm going to tell you something really interesting. Right, so when you choose views remarketing, now what is views remarketing? I told you last time, right? So let's say you will definitely have an option to select the look back period. This is super interesting, right? So I'll cover about this in few seconds. But when it comes to views remarketing, now over a 7 day period, in last 7 days, how many customers, let's say if 1,000 customers looked at similar products, right? If 1,000 customers, they have opened similar listings, but they have not bought that product, they are yet to buy that product. So you're going to target such customers in views remarketing, right? So when it comes to purchases remarketing, it's the same strategy. Now when you select a look back period, so people who bought it 7 days back, let's say if a customer bought some product 7 days back, you're going to retarget them once again, right? So but before speaking about this much in detail, I'll come back to views remarketing. Let's focus on views remarketing. Now let's understand properly. We are saying in last 7 days, whoever has, there are, let's say if some 1,000 customers have looked at products that are similar, but they have not made any purchase, right? So you see 7 days, don't you think that is very hot, right? So these are the customers who looked at your product in last 7 days, but they did not buy the product. So technically they have that buyer intention, and it is a very, very hot lead, right? So if you were to focus on them, if you're able to advertise them, if you were to occupy some space in their subconscious mind, provided your product is well differentiated and your product also has good number of reviews, good star rating, and there is no reason why a customer will not buy your product, right? Now likewise, 14 days is not hot, but I would say it's warm. 30 days it's like you can so hot, it is definitely hot, not hot, and it is definitely not warm. Okay, so but it's very interesting. Last 7 days, last 14 days, definitely exploit this opportunity. Do run campaigns for your views remarketing, especially for your 7 days and 14 days. For your 7 days, I would definitely suggest to have higher bids, so that you are more visible for your prospective customers, right? Likewise, when it comes to purchases remarketing, right, for purchases remarketing also you have certain lead times here, right? But the problem here is it also once again depends upon your product, right? Let's say uh, if your product has got a shelf life of 30 days, right? Let's say if you are selling a products like supplements, where a customer will have to buy after x number of days, for our example, or in our example, let's assume 30 days. So after 30 days this customer will definitely have to repurchase or buy another protein bottle, or protein supplements or whatever. So you need to make sure that you are once again focusing on them, before they complete your first supplement product. You should be once again bombarding them with so many advertisements, so that it becomes easier, right? So they come back to you once again, rather than picking that or buying your competitor. So this is more to do with your purchases remarketing. So in your Amazon audience, so Amazon has already categorized customers into various segments or buckets. You are going to target them in views remarketing. So you will have an option to look into your look back period, or check your look back period, and you're going to focus on customers who opened the product listings of similar products but they have not made a purchase. So you will get to see hot and warm leads here. Likewise, purchases remarketing, it is more to do with customers who has bought your product, and it is also important that these customers buy your product again after your shelf life expires. So this is where your audiences works: Amazon audience, views remarketing, and purchases remarketing. Let's get back to this. So when it comes to sponsored display, we spoke about product targeting, we spoke about audiences. Amazon recommendation is your Amazon audiences. We spoke about views remarketing, and we also spoke about purchases remarketing. And the last and final one is your brand video ads, which is super cool and very important. See guys, I'll tell you an hack. Let's say you are running your, I'll go back to manual campaigns. Let's say you're running your broad and phrase match campaigns, and you see a couple of keywords are really doing well, okay, and you want to run or you want to rank for those keywords, but you see for those keywords the bids are super high, and you see all your competitors are playing or fighting for the exact same keyword. Alright, so then what you can do is, along with your exact match keyword campaign, you can also run your brand video ads, right? You can run your sponsored brand ads, right? Now when you run your brand video ads, right, within your brands you will have three options. One is your video ads. You can definitely drive traffic to your storefront. You can also have your top 3 products displayed to your customer. So for today's session I'll focus only on brand video ads. But what I would say is, if you were to get to see a keyword where there is a lot of where you see bids are really high and your competitors are all fighting for the same keyword, what you can smartly do is you can run brand video ads for the exact same keyword. Your competitor may not be running video ads, and we all know that brand video ads occupy so much of space, right? So just use this not only for your keyword campaigns, right, even for your high volume keywords. When you see certain keywords with a very high volume, and if you do not see any video ad there, I think that should be an opportunity for you to exploit, right? So definitely also run your sponsor brand video ads, right? So video ads for specific keywords. So I told you now specific keywords, as in you can run your video ads for your high volume keywords. You can also run your brand video ads for the keywords which you want to rank for, right? And that is all about your brand video ads, right? Likewise, you can also promote multiple products. Let's say in your catalog, if you have 3 products, the top 3 which are doing really well in terms of reviews and stuff, you can promote those products through brand video ads. and you can also drive your products to your storefronts. So these two topics we will pick it for some other day, but right now I want you to focus on brand video ads, right? So the very idea or the purpose of walking you through all this is because tomorrow we are going to run, or I'm going to show you how to run your manual campaigns, or I'm going to show you how to run your manual campaigns using bulk operations. Now let's also discuss about the naming convention, right? How should you name your campaigns? Now, what is your goal when you name your campaigns? What is your goal? Your goal is to make sure you're in a position to optimize your campaigns well, and you're also able to track your performance. How did you do 7 days back, right? How are you doing? How are you doing 30 days back? How are you doing 60 days back, right? How are you doing last week? Now basis this data, you're going to plan for next week, right? Firstly, when it comes to PPC management, the first aspect is optimization, and the second very important thing is tracking. You should be tracking your campaigns, right? And basis that, you need to take directions. You need to, move forward. Now, the whole idea of naming your campaigns properly, it's not for anybody, it's for you, right? Why? Because when you're naming your campaigns, when you look at that name, you should be able to identify very easily, right? If you are not able to identify it properly, right, you will get confused, because you could be running hundreds of campaigns, and if it is all haywire, then it will be really difficult to track. You will be confused which campaign are you running, where, and stuff. So I'll give you a simple example. Right, so there could be many more approaches, but I'll just tell you an example which works for me, and it may not work for you, but I'm sure it, and this is one of the easiest way. Now when I'm running a campaign, firstly I want to know which type of campaign is that, right? Now before going there, firstly I want to know which product is that, right? Let's say if you were to run a campaign, firstly we need to know what product is that, right? So that is where you have this identifier. Now for identifier, you can have a code, or you can have your SKU, or you can also have your ASIN. So the suggestion would be to have your SKU. Now you can, when you're creating your product listing, you try to define your naming for your SKU, because if you are giving that option to Amazon, it will just throw up a random number, or random alphabets. Rather, you try to define a name for SKU, right? So always have an identifier. Like if you were to sell a mobile phone, what is your SKU for that mobile phone, right? So this identifier is for you to understand that you are looking into this specific product. And then I will also mention what type of campaign is that. Is that a sponsored product? Is that a sponsored brand? Or is it a sponsored display? Right? So I know this can be sorted from, you can get to view this when you download, but I want to keep it very simple and structured. Firstly, I will have my identifier, which is my SKU or product name, and then I will specify SP for sponsored product, SB for sponsored brands, and SD for sponsored display. And then I'll specify what is the match type. Right, if it is an auto campaign, I'll know it should be either close match or a loose match, or complements or substitutes. Right, if it is manual, it should be exact, or broad, or phrase. Right, and I will also mention or specify the date. This date thing is optional, but it is always good to have. Okay, and I also gave you an example here. First I'll have my SKU, and then I'll specify let it be a sponsored products, and I'll say it is a phrase match campaign, and then I'll say 1, right? Because I could be running multiple phrase match campaigns. Now if I were to have multiple ad groups within this particular campaign, right, I'll have the exact same thing for each ad group. I'll say 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, whatever, right? If I were to run multiple phrase match campaigns, I'll say SKU, SP, phrase hyphen number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and so on and so forth. All right, I hope I was able to cover the entire Amazon PPC campaign structure. I tried to keep it very short and concise. In the future videos, I'll try to touch base upon each of them. I'll try to touch base upon each of these campaign options, and try to show you how to how to create a campaign, and also if possible show you how campaigns are doing and stuff. But one thing is very clear, right? It is very important for you to be omnipresent, right? You need to make sure you're occupying your customers mind share, and you should also be optimizing your campaigns on a regular basis, because when you're running number of campaigns, you also want to make sure that you're not wasting on keywords which are not converting well. So you need to be focusing upon your optimization, and you also need to make sure you're tracking your progress. Cool. So good. So I think this is all we have for today's video. I hope you are able to get some value out of this session. If that is so, kindly please subscribe to my channel and also share it with your friends. Thank you all. And if you are here watching for last 30 minutes, I really appreciate you. It means a lot to me. Thank you all, and have a great day. Thank you all. Bye. Take care.